sex for now. To the people at home or in the...
Men always sort of round up, and women always round down.
I'm really of a mind 10 to 12.
No, I say
5 to 15.
I say 50.
20.
5 to 15.
Yeah,
50.
Oh man.
I would say 15, and then I'd say it's more like 30.
So, first of all, the difference between the men and the women, is that what you'd expect?
Well, men always multiply by 2, and women always divide by 2.
Well, so they want to appear more
This
macho.
is a myth that is true. Men need to look virile to their friends. It's good for their self-image. Women don't want to be thought of as a bad girl. So there is that kind of tendency for women to talk it down. Now, I'm really amazed, because we know the figure is 2 to 5 partners over your whole sexual lifetime. I find that amazingly low, actually. Particularly if you think back to the 60s. Even in the survey that we did, the people that would have been most affected by that, late 40s, early 50s, are still saying 2 to 5 sexual partners. Do we believe them?
Yes, are they telling the truth?
Yeah. Or is the opposite true? Was everybody else having a good time, or did we think they were having a lot of sex and nobody was? It was just the media playing a big game with us.
Everyone was saying in the 60s we were having loads of sex. Yeah. Everyone was staying in.
Did we know anybody who was having a lot of sex?
Well, Kenneth Williams used to say that. He used to shout, "Where are the orgies?" Because no, his kids kept saying everybody was having a great time. People said, "I'm having no action at all."
So we also wanted to find out who lies more about sex, men or women.
It's got to be men. Men have got to count up. I mean, goodness sakes, you know, you've got to look as though you've got some experience before a woman will be interested in you. A woman doesn't need to pretend she's got experience.
Well, let's see what the men and the women say.
Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex for now. To the people at home or in the crowd.
Why would
not
women?
lying.
Why would women lie?
No, but women do.
Women.
Oh, men lie.
Guys, we are lying.
Men will lie about how good they are or how many partners they've had.
I've slept with 4 different women, at least, who've turned round to me at the end of it goes, you know, I told you I was a virgin. I was lying.
Well, he
What
should
a
have
liar.
realised. He should have realised.
That never happened.
What
I
about
don't
how
believe
often
him.
it's all going on? You know, how many times a week the average man or woman's having sex? How often? Because everybody thinks everybody else is at it, don't they?
Well, the survey that we did on this morning, once a week is the average. Now, this is incredible, because we're all looking over our shoulders thinking our neighbours are having more than us. There's something wrong with us. It didn't surprise me, actually. When you think the majority of people working, they've got kids, they're tired, it's probably ending up being just Saturday night sex. So maybe we can all breathe a sigh of relief that we're no longer in the kind of low sex lead compared to everybody else. We're absolutely normal.
How many times a week do you think you have it? This is what the team say.
Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex for now. To the people.
I'd reckon the average man would have sex
Couple, I'd say.
2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Women are more likely to have sex nowadays than they were 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I agree with
That's
that.
why
Yeah, I agree
women
with
are
that,
more,
definitely.
you know, like more. We see it as more promiscuous. They're just like catching up with men were.
So you just sort of breathe a sigh of relief and think, right, okay, well that's
That's okay.
I'm still normal. Yes, you know, I'm not a freak.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get around to having some more sex when my life gets together and I'm less stressed and I've got more time.
But there's also this huge amount of pressure, isn't there? That sex on television, on the movies, is always, you know, it's always glamorous, always fantastic, always doing it all the time. You know, it's you read about celebrities in magazines who are, you know, constantly talking about sort of sex lives. There is this pressure on everyone in general to sort of live up to expectations.
And that only young, attractive, slim people should be having sex, which of course is an absolute nonsense. And I think people are beginning to tune out from that message now, because it isn't true. And we're beginning to not sort of buy into that media frenzy. I mean, when we get to know more about our movie stars, we find out they're not even having as much sex as they're pretending to, because their whole image is about projecting it. So when you go home, what do you want to do? Not do that. So, you know, we should all calm down about it. We're all taking it much too seriously, I think.
And I think that's right about the whole movie thing that you're saying, because you look at it there and there's no funny noises and giggling and embarrassment, you know, it's all just, it's beautifully choreographed, and there's music and body doubles for your bottom and all
Where's
that.
the fun in sex? We've lost it, haven't we? We need to reclaim.
No, you're right.
The fun
it's
and the
good
humour.
fun. It's great fun. Who enjoys sex more then, men or women? Who gets more fun out of it, do we think?
Ooh, I'd like to think both men and women enjoyed it equally. Absolutely, I really would. And I think that women are supposed to be more in tune with their senses, and so they like the whole experience of sex, you know, and they like their emotions involved in it. But you know, men have had a really bad press, Phil. I'll have to say this. You know, men are not the selfish creatures that a lot of surveys have painted them. They actually want to please their women. For them, good sex is about their partner being pleased. But you know, there's a message there too, because if your partner is pleased, that can make you feel pretty powerful too.
Sure.
And good about yourself.
Let's see what the boys and girls think.
Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex for now.
Women.
I think when it comes to enjoying sex,
Once a lifetime.
if you think, I don't think you can say, do men enjoy sex more than women?
It's 3 seconds on the orgasm. Women, it can last like 2 minutes. Like,
You ask a man now, he'll say, "Oh, my woman, oh, I work so hard, I kiss, I love her."
I would say that men
He said
and
they would
women
say us.
enjoy it equally.
Yeah, if they're doing it right. Absolutely, of course.
And can
they
we
should
say
be.
the male orgasm, well, we'll get on to this Wednesday, 5 seconds for the male orgasm, 15 seconds for the female orgasm. So not quite the 2 minutes he was making out.
2 minutes, I was going to say. Good Lord, for goodness sake.
Maybe he's very, very good.
I think he thinks he is. Right, in a relationship, who wants sex more? To be kind.
Now that's another.
It's got to be boys, isn't it?
Well, it's another myth that men want it more because they're driven by the sex hormone testosterone and they have more of it. I actually think that that's an individual thing, sex drive. In the surveys I've been involved in over the years, you can get some very randy women and some very low-sexed men.
Right.
So I think it is a myth that all men have to be sexually driven, and maybe men feel they need to buy into that. But I think on the whole, see, once you get women going, don't forget they're the only animal in the animal kingdom that has an organ devoted solely to pleasure, the clitoris.
Yeah.
And once they get going, they're difficult to stop because they're the only animal who can be multi-orgasmic.
And it depends on it depends how you're
Yes.
feeling, doesn't it? It depends about are you pregnant, are you not pregnant, and if you just had a baby, and all of these. It's the stage of your life as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And age and all of that.
Well, see, women are much more subject to emotions, I think. You know, if they're
Right.
feeling a bit anxious or stressed, it's more difficult for them to get in the mood. But once
Sure.
they're in the mood, you know this, Phil, there's no stopping them.
Right.
So this week's going to be really tough, isn't it? Eh? I'm giving away nothing. The week, as we said, we've got all sorts of different topics on every single day. It is the truth about sex. What, as an expert, what is the truth about sex?
The truth about sex is that we're all talking about it and worrying about it too much, and we need to spend more time doing it. We know the sex techniques. We've had enough sex books thrown at us in the last 15 years. We've seen the good sex guide. Now we need to find the time in which to actually have good quality sex. It's about opportunity, and it's about learning to enjoy it. Not learning. It sounds like hard work. It should be fun. Let's get back to the fun of sex.
What do the boys and girls finally think today about the truth of sex?
Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex for now. To the people at home or in the crowd.
Sex is like maths, plus a bed, minus the clothes, divide the legs, and in it goes.
It is good. And it can only get better, couldn't it? And I'm only 20 years old. It can only get better.
Everyone wants it, everyone needs it, everyone does it. And it's just about, but that still doesn't make it any easier to get.
Because we all talk about it far too much and don't get about doing it enough.
Well, that cheeky little monkey's not going to get any action.
Still reeling over his equation, that's for sure.
Awful. That's really awful.
We should talk about good chat-up lines as well, shouldn't we?
That was a bad chat line.
Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
We'll see you tomorrow.